The nation is marking its newest national holiday today, Juneteenth. President Biden signed legislation this week making the day a federal holiday. It commemorates the events of June 19th, 1865, when Union soldiers brought news to enslaved black people in Galveston, Texas, that they were free. Many large corporations, including Viacom CBS, recognized Juneteenth on Friday with moments of silence, early closures, or a pay day off for employees. But to many, the day represents much more than that. Christina Ruffini is at the White House with more on this. Christina, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jeff. You know, this holiday came about so quickly that the post office is actually still delivering mail, and that's because it said it couldn't stop service that fast. But for people who've been fighting for recognition of this day for generations, it didn't feel fast. It felt long overdue.
From a Juneteenth flag raising in Boston,
this is an amazing day in our city,
to a march in St. Paul, Americans celebrated their first new federal holiday in 36 years. Also known as Jubilee Day and Black Independence Day, Juneteenth marks the moment in 1865 when, 2 months after the end of the Civil War, Union troops finally got all the way to Texas to tell the enslaved people there they were free.
This is one of the ways to acknowledge that our ancestors weren't free for 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation.
94-year-old Opal Lee has been fighting for federal recognition of Juneteenth for decades.
You are an incredible woman, Ms. Opal. You really are.
She got a front row seat when the president signed the bipartisan bill and one of his pens. But she says the fight isn't over.
We've still got much work to do, and we see this as a great beginning.
Advocates argue that work includes passing federal voting rights legislation, currently stalled in Congress, to protect against new restrictive voting laws in states like Florida and Georgia that critics say disproportionately impact people of color.
We are talking about the preservation of a right. That is the right of citizenship.
And a police reform bill, which President Biden encouraged lawmakers to pass in April during his speech to a joint session of Congress.
But let's get it done next month, by the first anniversary of George Floyd's death.
But that anniversary came and went without congressional action.
Now, the government was closed yesterday since this year the 19th was on a weekend, but today is the actual holiday. So expect to see more of those celebrations and commemorations across the country. Michelle?
Well, a lot of them will be taking place. I'll be at one of them. Thank you so much, Christina. Well,